Hello everyone, a quick rundown of today's video. In the beginning of the video, I talk about two major signs that you're working with a bad realtor. And then at the end of the video, I tell a personal story about how I did the exact opposite of what I listed bad or inexperienced realtors do. So please subscribe. Thank you very much. All right, what are some signs you're working with a bad and inexperienced realtor? This is Sam from Siberi 6 Real Estate and Remax Realtor on Realty Inc. As always, before I get on with this video, I'm going to make this very quick. Please feel free to subscribe. A subscription would mean a lot. And rate and review if you think what I'm saying is wrong. Please feel free to give me a thumbs down. Say it in the comment section. And if you have any praise, I'm not against praise. Go ahead, praise me. Yeah, that's it. Let's get on with the video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about two major signs that you're working with a inexperienced / bad realtor. Now these signs are from the perspective of a buyer client, right? Maybe I'll make a video in the future that gives these same signs from the perspective of a seller client. I'm more so talking about from the perspective of a potential buyer. So if you're looking at this video and watching it, and if you're a buyer, please listen to this video because I think it's going to contain a lot of information you will want to know. First sign that you're working with a inexperienced and potential possible bad realtor is when they sign a BRA, a buyer's representation agreement, and they are reading the contract to you so you know what you're signing, as they should. That's exactly what they're doing. They're reading it to you. You see, if you're signing with a realtor and you ask him, hey, what does that mean? And you point to a certain section or a certain clause, and instead of looking you in the eyes and telling you what it means, and obviously going based on the wording, now not word for word, but paraphrasing, if they do that, you know you're working with an experienced realtor because this person's read this document many times. He's worked with many buyers, so he probably knows what points in that paragraph you really need to know. And he can't be lying to you because he's giving you a copy. And if he's an experienced realtor, if he's a trustworthy realtor, he'll tell you, read it for yourself, right? So if that's how they explain a certain question you have about what a certain paragraph means, you're in good hands, at least so far. But if you ask the realtor, hey, what does this paragraph mean? What is it talking about? What does this clause refer to? And what they do is they proceed to take a look at the document, start reading it to you word for word. You know you're probably working with an inexperienced realtor. Now, inexperience isn't bad. I was inexperienced. In fact, in many aspects of life, I'm as inexperienced as anyone there is. But it's probably not a good sign, and it should not be a good sign that you as a buyer are looking at someone read something to you word for word when you look them in the eyes and ask them what that means. They should know off heart. That's like being in a Best Buy and asking the guy who works there, hey, what's the difference between the Samsung and the Toshiba laptop you have right here? What are the difference in terms of specs? And instead of saying, well, the Samsung has this and that, whereas the Toshiba has this and that, they just take the box that the laptop's in and they start reading it. Well, this has this, this has this, this has this, this has this. And they put the box down and they grab the other box and they start reading that box. You see what I mean? You're not really confident that they care or that they're good at their job. It's not a good sign. The next sign that you're working with a inexperienced / bad realtor, and this is where the bad comes in, is when you are looking at places to buy and you've already signed the contract and this person has taken you to many houses, they are always quick to accentuate the positives of every house and minimize the negatives of every house. Add onto that the fact that they're always very quick to tell you, this is the place to buy. This one you have to buy. Or if you don't buy this one, you're gonna lose out. Oh my God, I did the research, this one, it's not gonna be on the market for long. You have to put an offer right now. I mean, it's gonna go very soon. If they keep pushing you and always play up the positives and downsize the negatives, if they do that on more than one occasion and you notice a pattern, and look for it, please do look for it. If you notice this pattern, you're working with an experienced agent, and worst case scenario, a bad agent. Inexperienced because a lot of newer agents who are looking to make money and become successful, and maybe you're the first buyer they're looking for, they're just excited. So they just don't want to lose out. They have this perspective of how should I say it, scarcity. Like, you're the only buyer that's ever gonna come their way. So if they mess it up, they won't get another buyer, right? So that inexperience, that insecurity drives them to sell you and push you. They're afraid to tell you the negatives with the house, because if you tell them the negatives, I don't know, they're afraid that you'll want to work with another agent. You'll say, why did you even bring me here? Or if they tell them the negatives, you'll say, well, I don't want to put an offer on this place. That's a good point. That is a negative. I don't like this aspect of this house. So the inexperience kind of leads into insecurity, which is a very human thing. I mean, it's not an alien concept. I mean, as people, when we're inexperienced in a certain field, we go there with a sense of insecurity and with a chip on our shoulder that we have to prove ourselves, and sometimes we overcompensate, right? And it's in that overcompensation that their inexperience shows, and how hard they push you to put an offer on this place or try to sweep the negatives under the carpet. Now that's the inexperienced part of it. Bad agents who are not inexperienced, often successful, and might keep pushing you to put an offer or minimize the negatives and expand the positives. They might do that because they just want to make that cash fast, man. They want to make that commission. And that's bad. You're not inexperienced, you're a bad agent, and you're dealing with a bad agent. Because instead of telling you, you know what, this house, it might look good, but it has this issue, it's in this area. Instead of doing that, they say, you know what, you seem to like it. This is what they're thinking. You seem to like it, and I just want to make quick money. So yeah, let's put an offer on it, man. I mean, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, don't think about the negatives. Don't think it back. Think about the fact that you have a in-ground pool that needs maintenance, and we live in Canada, so you're gonna only be using it, 4 months out of the year. Don't think about that. Think about the fact that it's, in this area, and it's this big, it has this many washrooms, And I'm not saying that every time someone does this, they're a bad or inexperienced agent. No. Often, when I see a house and I'm with a buyer client and they see the house and I see the house, if I truly believe it's an amazing deal, I will push that onto my buyer client. But that's because they trust me. I have established some sort of trust, some mutual understanding that I'm not gonna sell it hard to you unless I know it's good. And it's not just trust because we have benefit of the doubt. No, it's trust because of the following. They trust me because they've seen me, and I have many stories like this. They've seen me tell them that a house they love, a house that they're ready to put an offer on, that they should not. So what do I mean by that? And maybe this is the flip side of what this video is initially about. How do you know you're working with a mature and experienced agent, right? I had a situation just recently where I was with a buyer and I was showing them this condo unit at Yonge and Sheppard, right? And they were just in love with this unit. They wanted a 2-bedroom plus den with a washroom somewhere central, like North York. And they wanted a new building, pet-friendly building, and this met all the criteria. Right? And I'm showing them this unit, and they're in just love. They're in love. They're looking at the kitchen, so so big, the bedrooms were spacious, as an amazing view, right? And honestly, I swear to God, they were ready to put an offer as soon as we left there. They were ready to put an offer as soon as possible. I told them, don't put an offer because I don't think this is a good deal for you. Now, if I was a bad or inexperienced agent, I could have simply said nothing. I could have said, yeah, you're right, it is amazing. But no, I knew something they did not know. I knew that next to this building was a vacant parking lot. And I knew that this parking lot was going to be developed into a 110-story condominium. And I knew once construction started on this condominium, it would be a lot of noise for them. And eventually down the line, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, it would completely destroy the view they had. So I said to them, look, it's up to you. My professional advice is keep this as a plan B, an option B, but go forth with me to look for elsewhere. Maybe the rooms won't be as big. Maybe certain aspects won't be as good. However, it's in your best interest to not put an offer now and to see what else is out there. Because this location, although it has a lot of positives, it has this big negative that's coming your way. So in a way, I did the exact opposite as what I said earlier inexperienced agents do. I actually minimized the positives and I accentuated the negatives. I brought a big negative to their eyes. And I could have probably done a deal that day if I didn't do that. But I knew if I did a deal that day and 4 years down the line they came to regret their purchase, they were going to be upset with me. And at the end of the day, my ideal is that my clients are always happy with my work and I get paid. If I have those two things hand in hand, the satisfaction of my client and commission for my hard work, I'm as happy as anyone on this planet. So yeah, that's the video about 2 ways you know you're working with a bad/inexperienced agent. If you have any feedback, please let me know. As always, I'm Sam from Siberi 6 Real Estate, Remax Realtor Realty Inc. My contact information is on the screen and in the description. So please provide some feedback and please, as always, subscribe. Your subscription is always appreciated. Thank you very much.